to pitch for the Buckeyes, number 17, Pauley. At first base for the Buckeyes, number 21, Kaiser.
New pitcher in for Ohio State, taking over from Jamison Campbell. Ohio State ahead by 14. It's still making changes at the mound to make sure that the best and most capable arm is at the mound. Interim head coach Tim Donnelly, we talked about him earlier in the broadcast, his first season with the Zips, 13-18 record. Of course, that being this season's clip, so no surprise there on his overall record. And you already mentioned stuff about him earlier in the game.
Yeah, of course, for those just tuning in, he takes over for Greg Beals, who was hired coming after 12 years as the head coach at Ohio State. He was hired in the summer of 2022, then took the Marshall head coaching job in January of 2023, but Donnelly had actually spent some time with Marshall back in the Thundering Herd, was there till 2016, then spent 2 more years after 10 years as an assistant at Marshall, but then was there at Middle Tennessee State, spent 3 years at Southeastern Louisiana University, then went to Western Kentucky, was the hitting coach for the Hilltoppers, and then in his first year at Akron was initially going to be an assistant coach, takes over as the interim head coach. And of course, we also talked about Blair Everhart, who's on the staff at Akron, former Ohio State Director of Baseball Operations, and was actually a graduate of Ohio State. Graduated in 2012 and was a team manager here.
Cole Pauley now toeing the rubber for Ohio State. Only a handful of pitches into his day. Stolarski at the plate for the Zips. First appearance at the plate today. Here's the offering from Pauley. He zips it inside for a strikeout.
Just the second strikeout in the career of the freshman Cole Pauley. Got his first career K in his last appearance April 7th against Michigan State. See there, he paints that corner against the tall 6'6" Stolarski. Right at the belt.
Here's an offering that's skied back into the bleachers. Should be landing down right in front of us if I didn't misjudge the distance. If not, it landed on our heads.
We would have heard probably a loud noise if that were the case.
That's what I'm thinking, but I lost it in front of us, and I didn't hear the thud, so it just disappeared into the ether as far as we know.
We just got to take context clues.
We got to have a seance to find out where that ball went. 1-1 count with an out. Here for Cole Pauley, who sends us outside, enough to earn ball 2 for the batter, DJ Butler. Butler 0 for 2 today. 11th at-bat of the season. Blast this out. 7th man in the order for Akron. 1 gone, so we're guaranteed to see 1 more as nobody's on. This will be Grayson Drusty after this. Outside, fills up the count, 3-2. Here's the pitch from Pauley to Butler. Pays it off with a walk. Ball 4 for DJ Butler. He'll take his base.
That fastball in the outside corner, just a bit off the edge.
Now batting for Akron, the first baseman, number 19.
So Pauley allows his first base runner. Had a great high school career at Lexington High School in Lexington, Ohio. Great high school program there. Was an All-Ohio Cardinal Conference first team selection in 2022. Struck out 88 and posted an ERA of just 1.6. Which had a great program like that. It's a pretty impressive feat.
Get a meeting at the mound here for Cole Pauley, who was a little off target on his last few pitches, and the Ohio State pitching coach wants to come in and make sure he's all right.
So a quick little walk-in talk there for associate head coach and co-pitching coach Sean Allen.
Ohio State after this, we talked about it on Wednesday. Tomorrow, at home against Bowling Green at 6 p.m. You can tune into that right here on Big Ten Plus. Strike one of the at-bat, 1-1. And then a 3-game series versus Maryland. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 1 game apiece each of those days for your weekend of Big Ten Plus baseball action. Meanwhile, for Akron, as Pauley takes ball 2, they're next up 3 games at Kent State. April 14th to 16th. They're already on a bus ride up north after this game. Might as well go play 3 games at Kent while you're at it.
Might as well, right?
A lightning fast series against the Golden Flashes. But I was waiting for that from you, Tyler.
It took a little bit, but it processed.
15-1, Ohio State ahead of Akron by a more than tight gap, as this is fouled out to the third base side over the bullpen. Gets up to the patio in left field. Action in the Buckeye bullpen, just tossing around. Nobody actually on the dirt. So it doesn't look like much serious. Meanwhile, the Akron bullpen has significantly cooled down since it was active in the first inning. Kavion first, as this one to Drosty is fouled back. 3-2 count will hold.
And you cannot ask for more picture-perfect weather than this. On an April evening, on April 11th, are you kidding me? This is impressive.
I was talking to one of the umpires as we came in here. This one connected left center, blasted out, hold that thought. Back towards the wall and falling away from it, but making the grab is Rawson. Rawson taking over for Lipsing in center field and looking just as good.
Now batting the catcher, number 17, Ethan.
Completing that last thought, though, as we were coming into the ballpark today, I was talking to one of the ushers who, it's basically the same crew all year. You get to know them well. And he looked at me, he gives me a fist bump as he always does whenever I enter the diamond here, and he says, "Can you imagine this time last year, you and I were both wearing long johns and multiple layers? And now it was at the time when we were walking in there about 75 degrees.
Let's just hope that a month from now we will not be wearing long johns and multiple layers.
I really hope on May 11th we're not wearing winter clothing still. I'm already packing up my closet. Okay, we can't be having the constant trips to the storage room to dig out the winter clothing all the way in May.
See, but you don't want to jinx it, too. But then also you want to make some space as well.
It's time for Clippers baseball here in Columbus. We can't be bringing out the parkas. Popped out to left field, and easily getting under that is Gravelin to make the play. Tosses it into the infield, and that'll do it for a side. And they'll call a game run rule, which we had thought was only for conference, but we'll do it here in the middle of the 7th. So a run rule ends this game about 40 minutes early of its projected finish time. Akron falls to Ohio State 15-1 in their sixth, Big Ten game of the season.
And all 15 runs coming in the final 4 bottom halves of the inning. Their most runs for the Buckeyes under head coach Bill Mosiello since March 12th out on the West Coast at Cal State Bakersfield. So a big win for the Buckeyes, kicking off their 5-game week.
As we mentioned earlier on the broadcast, Ohio State back in action tomorrow at Bill Davis Stadium on Big Ten Plus, 6 o'clock. First pitch against the Bowling Green State